El Señor me premia por mi conducta y mi valor. Es mi Dios, es mi Dios. Te alabaré, Señor. Te alabaré, Señor. El Señor es mi bastión, mi baluarte y salvación. Es mi Dios, es mi Dios, mi escudo y
One, two, yes.
defensor, Salvador que
One, two,
libra
yes. Hello, hello.
hoy.
Hello, everybody.
Es mi Dios,
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome.
es mi Dios.
Well, hello, everybody, and good morning. Welcome to the David Trigg Show here on this beautiful. What's today? Do you hear me okay? There you go. How about now? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the David Trigg Show on this beautiful Thursday, already just a few days before Christmas, on this special edition. This is the pre-Christmas edition of the David Trigg Show. GOZO for the whole family. Jamba Juice for the soul. A daily dose of GOZO. GOZO, by the way, means joy. Welcome. I have here my GOZO mug. Let me have a little sip of my awesome water here. Hold on. Yes, so thankful to have you, my dear friend, on this special edition. Wanted to ask you, what themes do you want to cover in 2017? What are some of the topics that you would like to talk about? And so leave me a comment here on Periscope. I want to welcome all of my guests here on Periscope Live, on Facebook Live. I'm keeping track of all your comments here through my phone, so be sure to leave me a comment here over the next few minutes so that we can figure out together in 2017 what are the topics. So welcome to JH, Justin, Harambe. Welcome to all of you that are coming in on Periscope Live, also on YouTube Live, and as well, of course, on Facebook Live. I'm here streaming live to all three platforms so that we can connect and really build a brand new community in 2017. My name is David Trigg. Let me bring up my title there. I'm a pastor and I'm also a coach in the area of media as well as relationships and mental health. And so I want to just ask you just to maybe leave in the comment below in the chat box, whether on Facebook or wherever you're watching this, a couple of things. First, what are the themes that you would like to cover? Going here to my Facebook page. Welcome everybody on Facebook. Bienvenidos. I also, as you know, I also do a Spanish version of this show, trying to always connect with you, whether you are a Spanish speaker or English speaker, whatever you do. I want to ask you, what are some of the topics? So I want to read actually, because I posted this question the other day, and I want to give a little bit of a shout out / maybe to mention some of the things that have already come in as potential themes. So let me go through those as maybe you begin to think about a couple of things. First, what time would you like this show to come on live? I've been experimenting with different times. You know, a lot of teachers or obviously people who work, they might watch this. You might watch this after the fact. Sometimes live. We have a few people that are live. But as you know, in the morning, people are driving. But I wanted to ask you if maybe 8 a.m. Pacific is a good time, 30 minutes. I'm thinking of doing a 30-minute show Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to be in your lives. And so I wanted to give you a few of the comments that have come in over the last couple of days of just what the topics that you might want to go over or that you would like for me to talk about. So Alfredo My dear friend, he said heaven. That's a good topic. Sam Sierra, my friend from Colorado, he's talking about the importance of the power of the gospel because time is short. I totally agree. My dear Norma Cervantes, she says everyone is trying to start the year with New Year's resolutions, right? Lose weight and all these things. But what happens is that she says that when people can't keep up with those resolutions, then they get depressed. And so she's talking about the value of actually being together and going to church on Sunday. So very, very important. Emily then also comments that sometimes we have great goals and we're very determined, but then life happens. And so we have to be allowed to be magnificent. And I love what she says here, to be a work in progress at the same time. So thank you, Emily. And then Annetta Lamb, she also chimes in. She says, let's talk about the gifts of the Spirit, especially the gift of love. So wonderful, wonderful comments. Let me go back to Periscope and see if there are any comments here. Merry Christmas. God bless you. Thank you so much, Augie Baby. Wonderful to have you, as well as, let's see, Penelope 11. So also thank you for being on the show. Always, always a pleasure to have you guys here live on Periscope. And as always, just to always thank you. I want to just on this Christmas maybe season here, almost to the end of this year, to thank you for your support. I appreciate how kind many of you are to listen in, to come into the show. Sometimes, as I said, you've heard me in Spanish, sometimes in English. That's another question that I had. Obviously, if you're a Spanish speaker, you're going to want this in Spanish. And if you're not a Spanish speaker, obviously you want it in English. But I did wonder what would be a good rhythm if you were to do a show yourself. Should I do basically the same show twice in both languages? Maybe half hour in English, half hour in Spanish. I've thought about that. Maybe, hello, OG Lisex joined the live stream here on Periscope. Welcome, OG. So always wondering what would be a good rhythm. Maybe get some of your input, being that I do have an audience in both languages. So maybe you have a similar problem or a similar opportunity to do both languages, maybe even 3 languages for some. How would you handle that? So hello. How would you handle the language barrier, perhaps? I'm thinking of doing 2 shows, one in English, one in Spanish, so that whoever you may be, you can connect with this show. But what are some of the themes? It's really the question that I want to ask you. What are the themes that you'd like to cover in 2017? Now, you might say, well, what do I talk about? Well, you've seen a lot of my streams. I talk about, of course, spirituality and faith in God. I'm a pastor, and so I have a real desire to help people connect with God. But I also talk about 2 other themes. I would say the 3 that I am most passionate about are faith. Second is mental health, how to overcome anxiety, depression. It's part of my story. And then third is relationships, how to grow and how to overcome some of the obstacles that people face in terms of their marriages. Maybe they're single moms, single parents. You might be a young person who's trying to figure out whether to be married and finances. My wife and I, as you know, my lovely wife Rochelle and I have been married 21 years. She's the love of my life. And we're not experts, but we've definitely learned a ton. We've grown, we read books, we've been to counseling, we've been through many different seasons from unemployment to the ups and downs of moving. And most of all, we have continued to grow and to commit to each other. So if you relate to some of those things, and maybe you're further ahead than us, or perhaps you're at the same stage of us, or maybe a little bit behind, hopefully we can help each other out. So let me know here in the comments if you have any input or any questions or any themes that you would like to cover. Another thing that I've been thinking about is to move this show on Facebook from my personal page to my public page. And the reason is because perhaps there more people could just simply like the page and watch the show. So as you know, if you're here on Facebook, you're watching this on my personal profile, which is great for all my friends. And sometimes, we have one person, sometimes we have 3 people. People ask me, how do you feel that you have not a lot of views? Only maybe 1 or 2 people are watching live. I used to care about that. And I used to feel all kinds of things, obviously from I stink, and not that I don't sometimes, or I don't know what I'm saying, and all that it could be true. But really, I find that it comes down to just people's time. It comes down to, of course, do you like the content? It comes down to a lot of factors. And so here's my point. What really matters to me now is more to be genuine and to bring my true self to you and to connect you. I would love for you to connect, obviously, with the things that matter to me and that matter to you. God, as I said, aspects of mental health, how to overcome those themes, and then, of course, how to grow in love and relationships. And so, to me, it doesn't matter if we have one person watching live, we have right now 2 on Facebook Live, or if we have 10 or 25, or if at the end of the day we have 100 views, or if that quote view was only a quick scan of maybe a 1-second clip. It really doesn't matter to me, quote unquote, kind of what that looks like, as long as it feels like we're building a relationship. And whether I know you personally or whether you're someone that I just know from a distance, that we know that we matter to each other, and that you feel that your questions are being answered, that I'm bringing you something that is interesting to you, that my honesty, my vulnerability, and perhaps some of the lessons that I've learned are actually beneficial to you. So I would love to know here in the chat on Facebook, please let me know. Let me go to Periscope. If you have any questions or any thoughts on what might help you grow in 2017, what are some of the themes that you are looking to improve upon? Thank you for the hearts, by the way, here on Periscope. And also on YouTube, I am going to check that here in a second. If maybe you are a YouTube person, then you can also go and watch me there at my channel. You can, obviously, what's nice about that is you can watch the show at any time of the day. On a replay, you can go back and watch whatever is happening, meaning whatever I recorded, you can watch the content throughout the week. So thank you for the hearts, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. For Bia, Pranav, glad to have you here on Periscope Live as well. Let me go back to Facebook Live. A couple of viewers there, so thank you guys. Again, always asking you, what are the themes that you would like to cover? What are the times that you would like to get this content? And then what language? Maybe not what language, because obviously you're going to say, well, Spanish if you're a Spanish speaker, English if you're an English speaker, but maybe more some advice on what do you think would be a right balance in terms of doing something in Spanish for 30 minutes, in English for 30 minutes, those kinds of questions. So I want to thank you as I wrap up this year. I'm going to still do a couple of more shows here before the year ends, but I guess I just want to thank you, my dear friend, my dear GOZO Nation, here with my GOZO head and my GOZO mug, viviendo always la vida GOZO, as I say, with my GOZO bracelet that I love to have. And also, I love this winner cup because you are a winner. Because I want to just always remind you that though there is pain in the night, as I always say, GOZO comes in the morning. And there's nothing that I love most than to remind you of those values of joy, of GOZO, of the idea and the value of being an overcomer, and also of some of the causes that mean a lot to me and it mean a lot to you. Obviously, areas of helping the poor. As you know, I'm an immigrant from Nicaragua, so immigration and standing up for the rights of Latinos or any other minority is very important to me. Obviously, church and a relationship with God that is relevant and real, very important to me. Issues of mental health, as I've said. I also like to talk about tech. I really enjoy helping people with media. My undergrad is in computer science, which doesn't mean a lot in terms of this, but it just means that I've always enjoyed tech stuff. And then my master's degree work is in church and in theology and in leadership. But my point is that I've really always enjoyed mentoring others. It's probably one of my greatest gifts and passions. And so when it comes to media, when it comes to communication, how to speak in front of a camera, how to communicate clearly. I'm not the best at all these things, but I do have a passion to never quit. And so I have my podcast, my daily devotions that are called Never Quit. And so, by the way, speaking of that, I encourage you to sign up to my daily devotional email, which is a podcast or audio version of this video show. You can go to lifeofgozo.com/daily devotions or lifeofgozo.com/never quit. Either one will get you to the right place. So, as I said, my heart is to connect with you more in 2017, to be less of a guru and just talker, and to really listen to what you have to say, to ask you for questions, and to get your feedback on the themes that matter to you, on the things that you have a longing for in your heart. Because I know your lives. You are living amazing lives. Many of you are doing amazing things for God, for the causes that you believe in, for the businesses that you're involved in. And many times you need a place where you can find that support and you can find that community. So I want to be here for you, to help you. So let me go back to Periscope here really quick, just to thank you for always being a faithful listener and a faithful viewer of GOZO TV. Thank you, everybody, for your beautiful support. I want to just encourage you and invite you to always come back here Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific so that we can engage and build this rapport that slowly will grow. And even though I feel like there is so much more to do and that this does take time, this is obviously a commitment that I'm making to do this show, that I really feel that it's a valuable tool and that people need encouragement and they need a daily, like I said, dose of GOZO. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to play just a little bit of my outside outro music. Thank you so much for being here. Remember always that though there's pain in the night, GOZO does come in the morning. Have a great rest of this day. Have a great rest of this week. Have a great rest of this month, Christmas and New Year's. And I will see you next time. Adios.